Hello, good evening. Welcome to Camnet Television Main News. Today, the 1st of January 2024. To present Camnet Television News, my name is Jeffrey Ziambo. Heavy rains leave a trail of destruction in LUSAKA'S KALIKILIKI compound. Vice President MUTALE NALUMANGO calls for collective action to combat cholera. Socialist Party vows to hold public rallies despite police restrictions. In international news, protests erupt in DRC as opposition challenges election results. And in sports news, CHIPOLOPOLO boys off to Saudi Arabia for international training camp ahead of AFCON. These and more stories coming up shortly after this break.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Happy New Year to you all. To present now the news in detail. Several ZESCO power lines in LUSAKA'S KALIKILIKI compound have collapsed following a heavy downpour on Monday afternoon. Residents interviewed by Camnet TV have called on the power utility company to swiftly attend to service lines that are on the ground to avert potential loss of life. Meanwhile, the disaster has resulted in several houses experiencing roof damage. More in the following report.
Several power lines belonging to Zambia's largest power utility company, ZESCO, have fallen following a heavy downpour experienced in LUSAKA'S KALIKILIKI compound. Residents spoken to by Camnet TV News say they are living in fear of a disaster and want the power utility company to quickly work on their service lines.
Someone the concern was this kubukoza mafasi mapoya wa uti yapanga ngozi bantu ele matambo yamboduka ya malaiti ai stinga labwino
nani kani malaiti chani chintambo chagwa chili pansi so muendese vazesi kwa mubwere tavutika kono manchani chima malata yose yachoka pa nyumba so tilipa panja so tilipa open mutitandizire kwa boma police tapapata MP mubwere muendese mbone mzionere mweka tambo ilipansi so bana bazapa na malaiti muendese mubwere mzionere.
Others have bemoaned the lack of response from the company concerning the near falling pours in the area.
Ipo mwandi yatuvuta ipo every day tukaingwa kugona ngatwagona mnyumba tugainza chepa lipo ipo every day yenda igwerako tunayesa kukamba kuli bazesco bapita chemload na kuisonda kwa sira na mulilego ndimu amenye tuvutikira naye ipo mwandi tuli mudenja wa uli kunchito uchita kuyopa eba tisinizi babana banga mvula nga yabwera uko.
Meanwhile, a further check by this reporter found that several houses had their roofs blown off in the same tragedy.
So na bwela naona chabe mpepo ya bwela yambilira na mpepo mvula yakaenda so naona yamyala yamba kuloka elo mwa igudunesi bana nshibonse bachokapo nezichabeneka mu so ndiye pamene naona kuti manje mpepo changena do yaseguka naona kuti malata yonse yachita bwanji yanyamuka pa mtenje so ndiye mvula pamene yamba manje ikulu ndiye malata yanangu baikako pa mwamba hapo so malata ambiri yaenda yaenda malata yenze disaster mvula yakaenda mwamene yakubeleza.
Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Traders at LUSAKA'S Makeni Simoson Market have appealed to the local authority to implement effective measures to prevent the spread of cholera in the area. This call for action emerged during a cleaning exercise conducted by Kanyama's Chikondi Foundation at the market. One of the concerned traders, Davis Mumba, expressed concern about the absence of chlorine and waste bins, despite reported cases in Kanyama constituency. Meanwhile, Chikondi Foundation Executive Director Vene Hajombwa emphasized the importance of maintaining cleanliness among market vendors to curb the cholera spread. More in this report.
So abantu bonse mwebeshire pano tulelomba kuwafulisha mkwayo bakulanda chimwatu kwaila kwa mabini tuleposamo na makulolini mutupeleko kubula makulolini akulanda chipiro vika mumenshi kuti bonse betwafanga mayanda.
As we know, Kanyama has been hit with cholera, and as the residents of Kanyama, I think we have to take it up ourselves and work together. Now our appeal goes to government and all line ministries who are working to fight this pandemic, so that we cut off the outbreak of cholera.
That Kanyama has been a hub of cholera, and we've decided as a foundation with my team to come and clean and also ensure that the marketeers are safe, because we don't want to lose lives. For me, as a resident of Kanyama, by the way, we are born and bred here. No wonder we are saying cholera starts with us and it should end with us here. For me, we want to encourage the marketeers also to be clean and safe. You know, our coordinator, we have to buy my beans to ensure that we put some beans here and there.
Vice President Mutale NALUMANGO has called for collective responsibility in the fight against cholera. She has highlighted government's efforts to provide clean and safe drinking water in Lusaka's Kanyama compound with water tanks installed for residents' access. She encouraged vigilance to prevent cholera from spreading nationwide and advised those with symptoms to seek medical attention. The Vice President made the remarks during a visit to Levi Manawasa Teaching Hospital, where she distributed baby hampers to New Year babies. More in this report.
In recent months, the country has battled the outbreak of cholera, with cases escalating in various parts of Zambia, which saw Kanyama compound being declared an epicenter. As 2024 begins, Vice President Mutale NALUMANGO has expressed worry that amidst the cholera outbreak, the country is recording brought-in dead cholera cases due to stigma among the citizens. The Vice President has urged the public to be alert and respond to cholera symptoms adequately.
It's important, like Dr. Sinyambo has said, that the processes that is being used, to identify, admit or allow and identify, that's the way to go. And if there are those that have, the other diseases like caused by E. coli and the other bacteria infection coming in, to me it's very, very positive, because it means that we are sensitizing people enough. The concern Honorable Minister you have raised, that we have VIDs, that's very important. When another person can come in just with suspicion that another person sits at home because of stigma. Stigma from what? Every disease is caused by a problem, by something.
Speaking when she handed over baby hampers to mothers of newborn babies at Levi Mwanawasa Teaching Hospital, Mrs. NALUMANGO says it is time to move out of the crisis management attitude and put up effective preventive measures to solve such cases.
The 258 water tanks put up just in Kanyama and in other places. We have water tanks through the MMU actually, to put all over, working with Lusaka Water and the Ministry of Water, monitored by your people to ensure that people have clean water. This is how we are working. But I'll still caution, starting right from my office, that let us not wait until a disease breaks out, because these tanks have been there. If we didn't have another alternative, we should have put them out. But we wait until we have a crisis. Let us move away from crisis management let us do that which we can to prevent. It becomes more costly when we have to start now mitigating instead of preventing. So I once again just want to appreciate and tell people that are feeling stigmatized when they feel they may have cholera. Anybody can pick it.
Meanwhile, government has distributed 10 baby hampers to January 1st babies at Levi Mwadawasa Teaching Hospital. However, 30-year-old Salome Tembo of Kalingalinga Township, who broke down in tears as she was being consoled by the Vice President after the loss of her child, a nurse confirmed that Mrs. Tembo's child was born an FSB, fresh stillbirth child. According to Sustainable Development Goal number 3, good health and well-being for all, by 2030, we must end preventable deaths of newborns and children under 5 by reducing neonatal mortality to at least 12% of 1,000 live births among citizens is a priority. Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The human rights commentator Maiko Zulu has proposed that the Zambia police be equipped with body cameras to facilitate the monitoring of potential human rights violations during law enforcement. In an interview, Mr. Zulu acknowledged the government's positive steps such as signing the ATI law and abolishing the death penalty and defamation of the president laws. Mr. Zulu notes with concern the ongoing human rights violations by the Zambia police. He believes that outfitting the police with cameras would enhance transparency in law enforcement. More in this report.
2023 saw several arrests of political figures for various offences. However, in the administration of the law, some individuals were allegedly harassed and their rights infringed upon by law enforcers. Human rights commentator Michael Zulu has since proposed that the Zambia police be equipped with body cameras for easy monitoring of human rights abuse in the course of enforcing the law.
We've seen deaths as we are speaking. You know, people in Mongo just laid to rest a young man, Stumbeko, you know, who was in police custody. So this and many other atrocities by the police, you saw the police go and literally break somebody's door, you know, an opposition leader. So as we are going forward in 2024, we want to see a situation where now the police should have body cams as well. I think that is the professional way to go, you know, because these accusations, you know, by the citizens do not go anywhere because you report to the same authorities who are, you know, behind the atrocities. So we would like to see more transparency in the area of the enforcement of the law.
Mr. Zulu has however commended government for the efforts it has made in respect of human rights, such as the signing of the Access to Information Law and the abolishment of the death penalty and the defamation of the president laws.
2023 we saw the two laws in the beginning being gotten rid of, I think the defamation of the president and also the death penalty. Then just a few days ago, we saw the access to information, which was a bill becoming law now. So in the area of human rights, that is a move in the positive direction. However, all these laws mean nothing if, you know, they are going to just be for the enforcing on the side of the citizens. We've seen a lot of police brutality in this past year.
Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
Chama South Area Member of Parliament Davison Mungando has called for the introduction of a law compelling Zambians to be sole owners of mines instead of allowing foreigners to own mines in the country. In an interview with Camnet News, Mr. Mungando expressed concern over the fact that the government still does not have a record of individuals involved in mining and has therefore called for a review of the country's mining policy. Meanwhile, opposition People's Alliance for Change President Andiford Banda emphasized that the lack of clear ownership of mines in Zambia is a cause for worry. More in the following report.
Zambia's mining sector is a powerhouse of the country's economy. Historically, it has served as a primary driver of economic growth and contributed significantly to government revenue and foreign exchange earnings. In the 2022 National Budget Address, the government announced aspiration to ramp up production from 830,000 metric tons to 3 million metric tons in 10 years annually. At its peak in the late 1960s and early 1970s, copper mining accounted for more than 80% of the country's foreign exchange earnings, over 50% of government revenue, and at least 20% of total formal sector employment. Despite having laws such as the National Mineral Resource Development Policy of 2022, which focus on enhanced geological mapping and mineral resource exploration, effective and transparent management and issuance of licenses, and among other pieces of legislation, such as the Mines and Minerals Development Amendment Act of 2022, a parliamentarian, Davison Mungandu, has called for strengthened laws that promote the locals to be at the helm of the country's mining sector. Mr. Mungandu says having a law which prohibits foreign nationals from owning mines would be a plus to achieving the government's goal of 3 million metric tons of copper production annually.
Mining there is still happening, but who is mining? In the past, mining was taking place even during PF there. Who was benefiting from the gold at Kasensedi? There is gold at Kanyerere, which is still mining. We can't run the country, dear colleagues, like that. Can we use security system to protect and eventually start mining? We don't need to celebrate less than $200 million IMF, whatever, drawing rights, when we are losing $3 billion through the mines. For your information, this country is bleeding annually more than $30 to $60 billion, and this information is there through illicit financial flows, or because we are not patriotic enough to protect our country. So can we change the way we run the mining sector?
Opposition People's Alliance for Change President Anford Banda, there is need to refine the country's mining policy in order to promote transparency and accountability in the mining sector. Mr. Banda says the Senseli open pit mine accident in Chingola sets an example of the need to revisit mining policies in the country because it is difficult to determine who owns the mine.
That accident has exposed a lot of negligence and a lack of care, from the government, regarding to, small-scale mining, or what they're calling illegal miners. Now, this is what the UPND promised to sort out once they form government. They promised to ensure that, safety levels are heightened, equipment is given to the young people that are doing there, that are there. But we haven't seen much of that. And for those mining activities actually to be able to be going on, it means that there's someone that is behind those mining activities. Now we want to know, as a People's Alliance for Change, and I'm sure as many Zambians, to say who are the owners of Senseli mine.
Nelson Zulu for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Chilobi area member of parliament Mulenga Fube has charged that the escalating levels of illegal mining in the country are due to lack of regulatory framework. In an interview, Mr. Fube urged Republican President Hakainde Hichilema to fulfill his commitment to formalize the artisanal and small-scale mining sector, as he assured while in opposition. He reiterates that formalizing the process would empower local individuals to engage in gold mining and improve their livelihoods.
When he was in opposition, promised that he's going to make sure that mine safety is emphasized. And I think one way of emphasizing mine safety is that these groups that do illegal mining, whether in Chingola, Luansha, Kitwe, and elsewhere, Baluba or whatever, will continue being there. What is important is that we need to attract order to these groups. We need to formalize them, say in cooperatives. After you give them, they're in cooperatives, you give them mining licenses. Those are people that have chosen that they should be having their living through mining. We have been giving mining license to people that want to just make wealthy through the mining by exploring different areas. But I think even those young people that want to survive through mining should be given licenses, and apart from that, we should formalize them into cooperatives. Economic cooperatives that are going to be supported using government revenue and the like. Why am I saying that? is because I am suggesting that way, because they should have proper equipment and the like if they have to do some of these factors, so that even things like getting the ore that they get, it is needed that they use equipment than just using simple machinery like a pick, a shovel and so forth to get what they want to get, because that is what gives them temptation to borrow tunnels that are dangerous at the end of the day. So there is need that we attract Senate towards these young people who want to survive through those activities. We need to formalize them. And I think these are questions that have been coming every now and then in Parliament about Black Mountain in Mufulira, Black Mountain in what? In Kitu, and all sorts of issues.
Amid its calls for teacher unions to merge into one formidable movement, a new union called National Educators Union of Zambia, NUEZ, has been launched, pledging to safeguard teachers' financial well-being. Speaking during the launch in Lusaka Monday morning, Union Interim General Secretary Ernest Mbangweta says the union will focus on empowering teachers through financial literacy initiatives and credit-saving schemes. Mr. Mbangweta reiterates that the initiatives align with the government's policy to promote financial stability among citizens, including civil servants. More in this report.
2024 has commenced with the launch of a new union in the education sector. The National Educators Union of Zambia, NUEZ, has been launched with a vision of having teachers who are financially secure. Speaking during the launch in Lusaka, NUEZ Interim General Secretary Ernest Mbangweta says the union is formed out of aggrieved teachers who want a labor movement which will champion their plight.
Our vision is clear: to empower, advocate, and uplift the teaching fraternity across Zambia. Invited guests, in the pursuit of our vision, we have adopted the motto that resonates deeply within our hearts. I hope my last breath is a sigh of relief.
Mr. Mbangweta says the union, through its operations, aims to align with government policy of supporting financial independence.
One of the pioneering initiatives of LEOs is the 0.5% teacher saving plan, a groundbreaking effort in the history of Zambia unionism. This plan is coupled with the plus 5% teacher retirement gratuity.
Union Interim President Matilda Chomba says the union aims to promote honesty and transparency among educators.
NEUS is founded on the pillars of honest, integrity and transparency, principle that will guide us as we strive to create an environment where educators are respected, valued and equipped to deliver the best possible education to our learners.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
The opposition United National Independence Party, UNIP, has denied claims that it played a role in the country's economic decline. Responding to assertions made by Movement for Multi-Party Democracy MMD leader Dr. Nevas Mumba, party spokesperson Reverend Andrew Mwima contends that the economic downturn started during the MMD tenure, citing misunderstandings of economic factors and privatization. Reverend Mwima assessed that UNIP maintained a stable economy and urges other political parties to acknowledge its contribution. He has also advised the government to prioritize local solutions and reduce dependence on foreign aid.
We can say is that even Dr. Nevas Mumba, the education, even the interest and the way he sees the life in Zambia, he's seeing them in the lenses of foreigners. Because at the end of the day, even when Dr. Nevas Mumba tried to put blame on UNIP, UNIP did so much, 27 years, see what UNIP did to Zambia. And even when it came to help employment, it was done across board. That's why we are saying it was one Zambia, one nation. Today, when you find the leaders coming from a particular region, the people from that region will be privileged. Even when they don't have qualifications, they'll be given first priority. Even when they are far away in their homes, in their villages, they will be called to come and get jobs for others. So this is what privatization has done. It has actually destroyed the strong foundation this country was built on. And I can assure anybody the only political party, and that's why UNIP now we've become responsible to say, if we let things go the way they are, we'll find ourselves fighting again for independence, both political and economic independence. So right now, UNIP, we are the ones, because we have the blueprint, we understand where we're coming from, and for us, it's Zambians. We prioritize Zambians. And that's why you saw everything was done for the interest of Zambians, not for the interest of a region, not for the interest of a certain particular tribe, no, but for the interest of Zambians across board. And that's why even when young people were finishing their exams, there would be, before they even finish their exams, banks, other companies will go and look for students so that they can be trained themselves. But this thing is
Socialist Party youths have vowed to hold public rallies throughout 2024 without notifying the police, citing constitutional rights. Speaking in an interview, the party's national youth spokesperson, Stanley Mubasa, has declared 2024 as a year of holding public rallies and mobilization, as Zambia is a democratic nation. Mr. Mubasa has also challenged the government to address the pressing issues like the soaring costs of meal and essential commodities as the new year unfolds.
Generally, as young people in Zambia, we will not be waiting for anyone to give us time frame when we should be holding our meetings, our rallies, and our mobilization activities. From today onwards, 1st January 2024, we will not need a permit from Zambia Police. We will be holding rallies. We are declaring this year as a year for rallies, mobilization activities, and recruitments. No one will stop us. Today, minimum prices have gone up. Today, cooking oil has gone up. Today, the cost of living has gone up. Today we have decided that since we can no longer afford rice and chicken in most of these homes in our compounds, we have decided to contribute coins by ourselves and manage to buy what we can buy, so that we just at least eat in Shima. We just eat in Shima. Because minimum prices have gone up. We are giving a challenge to this administration that if at all it is fit to lead this country, let minimum prices go down.
You're watching Camnet Television Main News. We'll take a break. Join us for more news after this break.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, 4th close on the left after KALIKILIKI Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. The ruling UPND Northwestern Provincial Acting Chairman Stafford Molusa has emphasized the significance of connecting with the grassroots and addressing their concerns. Speaking during an end-of-year party at the party secretariat in Solwezi, Mr. Molusa urged elected officials to actively engage with the electorate, noting that some representatives have not been holding meetings with the people, leading to complaints from the voters.
Kuruka bantu ko wafu nge wafunda mina bantu bishupa bingi pakuwera kuba bere kwamba mbaka ateba boga sara tubwere ngapi ne kumba kwijanja kwaba apa mino kitu wa mine mwe hii ndenge twafunda mina ko mgetu mona mabibana juba jarero Iwakisamba na makasteras, meya, neamua, napa tubwere pi, nakisamba na wanganyi, tumfinenga wanganyi, nekubira wanganyi, tuenderenga munga. Okwele kwa kimichiwaro. Wa constituency, neba districti, neane babwera ipi, Emwana kwa mwene. Ande baba watu wera ipi, bantu banganyi, bapratika hivyo. Ngena kushanamba mamiti nyanga, odu wapanga po mabranch. Tuwere mabranch, kusaka shupali. Evyone nyi. Bose yetu vyepi tuwere kubantu. Bawati mwakuswanga bingena kwa mga pamakastera pemea nepe ya mwa.
Local researcher and smart agriculture expert Oliver Bulaya has advised the government to implement some of the programs it has put in place for the agriculture sector early this year if they are to positively impact the industry. In an interview, Dr. Bulaya stresses that though progressive initiatives are in place, delayed implementation might hinder achieving the desired outcomes. He has also underscored the importance of early distribution of inputs under the Farmer Input Support Program, FISP, to ensure completion by mid-year.
So for 2024, we want to see much more of early implementation of some of the programs the government has undertaken. They may be good, programs, but if the implementation is done at a late stage, I think it will not impact positively to the farming community. So for the starting with the FISP, we would want to see the government, distributing all the inputs in terms of seed, in terms of top and basal and top tracing at once, so that it can distribute. We start this as early. We commend them for starting early, but we've had a challenge of farmers receiving these inputs late in terms of redeeming the vouchers all the way to December, which is not a good thing. So if the government started the process early, we would want our farmers to get these inputs as early as possible before the onset of the rains. So in this case, we propose to the government to say it is important that they start as early as possible and end the distribution of all inputs all imports by July, August, so that it can give enough time for the DACO's office, to start the process of redeeming, vouchers and the distribution of these, imports to all the farmers from August, to October, so that November is a month where farmers concentrate, in their land preparation and planting in certain areas.
Chieftainess Mwenda of the Tonga people of Chakankata district has hailed Area Member of Parliament Jacqueline Sabao for aggressively lobbying for development in the constituency. To recognize her efforts, the traditional leader on New Year's Eve slaughtered a cow in honor of the lawmaker. Recently, Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti, recently honored Ms. Sabao with a Nelly Muti Award as the most outstanding female MP for the year 2023. And Chikankata District Zambia National Women's Lobby Chairperson Lester Mbaza implored the lawmaker to continue working hard. And Ms. Sabao expressed gratitude for the gesture and pledged to continue working hard for the people of Chikankata.
I'm so humbled and grateful to the award, the Nelly Muti Award, which our Member of Parliament was awarded. We stand proud because many are the times we have told people that when you elect women and give them an opportunity to lead, they also are capable of doing it. And Zambia National Women's Lobby is present in Chikankata materially because of the presence of our MP and the only female councillor that we have. These two have made us proud. And so this award really means a lot to Zambia National Women's Lobby. It means that our efforts are not in vain.
In Tongaland, when you are given an animal, it's an honor. Hence, I'm really honored by the people of Chikankata for celebrating my award today. And we're crossing the year end, meaning that we are going to start the year at a very good note as a leader of the people of Chikankata and as a Zambian. Hence, it's very important that when we do something, we should be appreciated while we're still alive, unlike where you appreciate someone when they are gone. But I am very thankful to the people of Chikankata for appreciating me when I'm still alive. I'm just 2 years in office, but they've given me this big honor through our chieftainess, our mother, who takes care of us in this district.
This is Camnet Television News. We take a break and we have international sports news after the break.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Are you planning to marry or get married? Contact the Camnet Media team for a professional capturing of your big day in life. Let your relatives, friends, and the nation join you in celebrating your big day on television. Just at a manageable fee, Camnet Television will cover and transmit your wedding on your channel of choice. Contact the marketing department on mobile number. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
I give my love to having home. And this far.
Welcome back. And now in international news, protesters in Goma took to the streets on Sunday, responding to the opposition's call for mobilization against the results of the Democratic Republic of Congo's presidential election, which saw President Felix Tshisekedi re-elected with over 70% of the vote, according to the country's election commission. The preliminary results announced in Kinshasa faced opposition demands and civil society calls for a rerun due to significant logistical issues, casting doubt on the validity of the outcome. Tshisekedi's victory was followed by businessman Moise Katumbi with 18% and Martin Fayulu with 5%. Nobel Peace Prize winner Denis Mukwege, known for treating victims of sexual violence, received less than 1%. With a turnout of more than 40%, the election saw 18 million people casting their votes. The results are now slated for confirmation by the Constitutional Court, as stated by Election Chief Denis Kadima. Here's a roundup of international news for more.
Protesters in Goma took to the streets on Sunday, responding to the opposition's call for mobilization against the results of the DRC's presidential election, which saw President Felix Tshisekedi re-elected with over 70% of the vote. Kadima has to go. Enough is enough. He has organized chaotic elections. We don't want him. He's an adventurer who was put in charge of the Independent National Electoral Commission. He has to get out so that we can organize good elections. The preliminary results announced in Kinshasa faced opposition demands and civil society calls for a rerun due to significant logistical issues, casting doubt on the validity of the outcome. We are demonstrating today in Goma on December 31st, 2023, because Mr. Kadima's Electoral Commission, in complicity with Mr. Felix Tshisekedi, has organized very bad elections that have never taken place before. We demand the annulment of these elections. We demand the resignation of Mr. Kadima and his arrest. Despite rising tensions, the results are now slated for confirmation by the Constitutional Court, as stated by Electoral Commission Chief Denis Kadima. A wave of jubilation swept through the ranks of Félix-Antoine Tshisekedi supporters on Sunday in the Democratic Republic of Congo, creating an atmosphere of sheer joy and excitement. The exuberance was triggered by the announcement from the country's election commission officially declaring Tshisekedi's resounding re-election with an impressive majority, securing over 70% of the total votes. I am delighted that our president, Félix-Antoine Tshisekedi Tshilombo, has been re-elected. All Congolese everywhere, we are happy, and we will give him the chance for our country to be developed. Despite the excitement, opposition candidates and civil society groups demanded a vote rerun, citing massive logistical issues that allegedly undermined the balloting. With 18 million voters and a 40% turnout, the results are now headed to the Constitutional Court for confirmation. For years, we've never been happy. With the presidency of Felix Tshisekedi, we have peace in our hearts, and that's thanks to this son of the country. Final results are expected on January 10th, with the inauguration slated for later that month.
In the midst of ongoing conflict between Hamas and Israel, a young family in Gaza faces challenges. Aman Al-Masri, a mother of 4 newborns and a husband, share their heartfelt ordeal as they navigate displacement and struggle to provide for their children. A man who gave birth to quadruplets just days before being forced to flee their home describes the dire condition of their makeshift shelter in a Gaza school classroom. There is a shortage of diapers, milk, and wet wipes are not available. All children's necessities are not available, including clothing, warmth, or a bed. The entire place is not suitable for children, and there's no money even to buy diapers, milk, or anything. Amma Al-Masri, the father, echoed his wife's distress, highlighting the difficulty of providing for their 4 7-day-old newborns. He expresses his inability to afford basic necessities. Today I have 4 children, 4 newborns, who are 7 days old. I'm unable to provide a carton of milk, diapers, or even what their mother needs in terms of food, drink, and nutrition after the surgery. The Al-Masri's family plight reflects the larger crisis unfolding in Gaza, where thousands have been displaced and essential resources remain scarce.
And now in sports news, the Zambia national soccer team is expected to leave for Saudi Arabia ahead of their international training camp as part of the preparations for the Africa Cup of Nations tournament, which takes off this month on the 13th of January 2024. And in a weekly publication called The President's Corner, Football Association of Zambia FAS President Andrew Kamanga is optimistic that world standard facilities in Saudi Arabia will make it easier for the Copper Bullets to prepare adequately for the African showpiece amidst another team camping in the same country. Mr. Kamanga believes that the technical bench has diligent work in terms of preparing the team for the tournament after naming the final squad. To end Camnet television news, the top stories once again. Heavy rains leave a trail of destruction in LUSAKA'S KALIKILIKI compound. Vice President MUTALE NALUMANGO calls for collective action to combat cholera. Socialist Party vows to hold public rallies despite police restrictions. In international news, protests erupt in DRC as opposition challenges election results. And in sports news, CHIPOLOPOLO boys off to Saudi Arabia for international training camp ahead of AFCON. Our Camnet verse of the day is coming from the book of 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13. No temptation has overtaken you except what is common to mankind. And God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. Thank you so much for watching Camnet Television News. My name is Jeffrey Ziambo, and once again, have a happy 2024. Bye-bye.